Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Bahasham Harakwa Kodash. Double honors to the elders, the apostles of great men, so that surely do well. Salutation to the Akim that push this word out there in sincerity and in truth. Brother Lamad once again from GMS Trinidad. Just want to do a little video, hope it edifying towards you, hopefully like. Alright, this is 2018, the year prophecy, and the name of this video is to remember who you are. You have to go back. Right, the reason why I'm going and do this video is because you're going on it have people in Christianity who I was speaking to some Jehovah's Witness at time, and I was telling them in order to understand certain things of the Bible and who salvation is for, you have to go back, right? Because they're saying that salvation is for everybody. But I tell them that to go back, and they say no, then don't go back, right? They continue going forward. And you know something, sometimes if you just continue going forward, you'll fall off a precipice, right? When you're playing football, sometimes you have to know about playing back, right? Because there is a defensive play, and going back is a defense. Because, hey, when you fall long and you hit your head and you have Alzheimer's, what's the first thing the person that's trying to do is bring back a memory. Memory is the things that passed on, the former things. Alright, so I just bring in some precepts here, hope it edifying towards you, hopefully like, alright, about going back. Alright, this is Malachi chapter 3 verse 16. It says, then they that feared Yahweh spake often one to another, and Yahweh hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared Yahweh, and that thought upon his name. Alright, hey, because why? These people, right, basically, hey, they wanted to know about Yahweh. They wanted to know about the God of heaven and earth. And the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right, open up their remembrance to this Bible, which meaning what? The understanding of this book. Alright, they open the understanding of this book. So, right, that is why going into the book of Luke chapter 24, it says then he opened their understanding, alright, of the scriptures. So you see, the thing about it is very important to go back, because going back, that is your building blocks or your foundation. To remember who you are, who you is, you have to go back, because you didn't just born yesterday and have the knowledge that you have. You was a baby first. Hey, sometimes some people who end up in certain accidents, however the case is, they have to start back to learn how to walk. Alright, they have to start back to learn how to walk and stuff, because when we came here in captivity, we forgot who we was. Alright, history, the so-called white man, he polluted history so much. But the thing is, you have to go now and decipher what is truth from what is false. You have to go back into that same history. Alright, this is the book of Baruch. I just saw slack. I have to go into our next Bible with the Apocrypha. Alright. This tablet is really something else when it's ready. Right, book of Baruch chapter 2 verse 31. Right, and verse 30, I'll start at verse 30, right? It says, for I know that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. Alright? So in the land of the captivity, they shall remember themselves. What I mean? They once forgot who they were. Alright? Because one thing that you learn is that certain zookeepers or people, you hunter, you catch a lion from a young age as a cub. You're not going and tell a lion that he is a lion that is a fierce beast, because you're afraid that, right? That lion knowing that is a lion, so guess what? You have to trick that lion to make it feel it's a house cat. Alright, so that is what the so-called white man did, because we, the Hebrew Israelites, were the kings of the earth. We was the most fierce people on the face of the earth because of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, our power. Alright, so long as we are keeping that form of righteousness, so long as we are doing the things that is pleasing unto him. Alright, but the Most High sold us in the hand of our enemies. So what the so-called white man did, he took our nationality from us, calling us African Spicks, Natives Americans, all these kind of things. So we'll forget who we was. We'll forget our heritage. And our heritage is Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Our heritage is the land of Israel. Alright. And going on, and shall know that I am the Lord their God, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear. Alright. So that is going back into the scriptures. That eyes and heart to hear is meaning it's to understand. To understand the things that are going on around us. So you have to go back. The reason why we ended up here in slavery. Alright. We have to go back to see what was the reason why. Going back to pursuing to the curses in Deuteronomy 28. If you want to know how a house is built, alright, you have to go to the foundation. Alright? And you know something, the beautiful thing about the Bible, because me and a brother was speaking, the Bible is the only book that tells you how the foundations of the earth, how the earth was created. No other book will tell you that. Alright? Whether you're going to the Bhagavad Gita, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, or whatever the case is, the Quran does try to tell you certain things, because really and truly Muhammad is a thief. Alright? Matter of fact, I don't even think the reading the Quran, I'll have to go back into it. Reading the Quran never tell you about the foundations of the earth. It tell you about Adam and Eve and stuff. But in Genesis, it tell you in the beginning. Alright? Alright, just an example, I'm going to it. Genesis 1:1. Alright, it says, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the spirit of power moved upon the face of the waters. Alright, so look at telling you here what was going on, was taking place. Alright, it come like, hey, you see this house here? A person just sit down and write in Tuesday at 7 a.m. right, I had about 12 men coming to work. Right, they pick up the axe, wherever the case is, they walk on the field, they dig the foundation, how much inches deep, you understand, they clear it out with shovel, pickaxe, and whatever the case is. And this is the Bible. The Bible tell about the foundation of the earth. No other book, you know, basically tell you about that. You understand? So you have to go in the past. So anybody who's saying they just keep on going forward and you're not looking back, where is a crap or something, when you're a crap, don't look back. Right, and for those who don't know what is a crapo is it related to frogs, say in Trinidad, or a toad. You understand? Only crapo don't look back. You understand? You have to look back to the past, and the scripture is going on to tell you that. Right? 2 Chronicles 2 Chronicles 6 verse 37. Because if we don't remember ourselves as a people, we'll never be saved. We'll always be in one place or in one situation for the rest of our life. You understand? You have to remember who you is in order to go forward. You can't just go forward. You didn't just... You're 25 years old. You didn't come out of your mother womb 25 years old and start at 25 and just go 26, 27, 28. That's madness. You have to go back in the past. You're a few days old, then few weeks, then few months, then you're 2 years old, 3 years old, until you reach 25. Remember how you start to walk, all these kind of things. You know, the way how people speak now these days is like they don't think before they speak. We don't go back. We don't go back, we go forward. And that is why Christianity is the way how it is, because, you know, I was doing some research with Christianity today, and it was a mistranslation. Going into Acts, they said they was first called Christian at Antioch. They were never Christians. They said they weren't called Christians. Matter of fact, before, when they go into the history, they said they used to call them Nazarenes, or disciples, or saints. They were never called Christians. That was just not even a mistranslation. It was just a mistake. And then when they go into it, all right, it is it had people who were called Christians long before that. You understand? This is 2 Chronicles 6 verse 37. It says, yet if they bethink themselves in the land, whether they are carried captive, right? It says, yet if they bethink themselves in the land, whether they are carried captive. Who were carried captive? Right? Weren't it the Negroes, the Latinos, and the natives that were carried captives? Alright, just now, let me get in our next book just to look up the word bethink. Alright, in 2 Chronicles 6 and 37. Oh gosh, I didn't press 27, but anyway, I could just go down. Right, 6:37. It says, yet if they bethink themselves, right? Right, goes back to the Hebrew word shawab. Alright, a primitive root to turn back. You understand? So you're looking back transitively or intransitively, literally or figuratively. Alright, so that not necessarily with the idea of return to the starting point. Alright, generally to retreat, often adverbally again. You understand? King James Version usage: return again, turn back, away, restore, bring, render, answer, recompense, recover, deliver, put, withdraw, requite, miss. Right? You understand? So yeah, to turn back. Shawab. You understand? It says here now, going on, yet if they bethink themselves in the land where they are carried captive, and turn and pray unto thee in the land of their captivity, that is the reason why we face the east. The Muslims also pick up that custom from us, right? Muhammad, as I say, he's a big thief, right? We have sinned, we have done amiss, and have dealt wickedly. If they return, right, which will also go back, I believe, to the Hebrew word shawab. Right, Hebrew shawab. Right, if they return to thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their captivity, whether they have carried them captives, and pray toward their land which thou givest unto their fathers, and toward the city which thou hast chosen, and toward the house which I have built for their name, then hear thou from heaven, from the heavens, and even from their dwelling places, their prayer and their supplication, and maintain their cause, and forgive thy people which have sinned against thee. Alright, so the Most High not going and forgive you people, and you people don't know who you was. You're just going ahead, and that is the thing. You just can't go ahead. Alright, sometimes you have to turn back, sometimes you have to mash brakes, slow the roll. You understand? Next precept, this is Deuteronomy 32 and 7, right? This is Deuteronomy 32 verse 37 and verse 7, Salakia. It says, remember the days of old. Alright, old is what? Old are things that pass. Right? Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy fathers, and he will shew thee thy elders, and they will tell thee. And what the elders going to tell you? The elders going to tell you about when their parents was in captivity, their former slave masters. You understand? You understand? They will tell you about all these kind of things. They will tell you some of them will tell you, well, you know, their parents came from this country like France or Portugal with this slave master, whether the surname is Hansons, Oliviers, right, Williams, or whatever the case is. Alright? So our forefathers was in slavery. And didn't the Bible prophesy about slavery in Deuteronomy 28? Right? Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. Because this is how our forefathers came here. Right? And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Egypt synonymous with slavery.
by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. Won't we sell for bondmen and bondwomen? Kunta Kinte, Django, right? All these movies, we were sold into captivity. I never see a East Indian being sold in the 1600s, 1700s, 1800s. I never see a white man being sold into captivity. I can't remember no slave movie like that. I can't remember watching and seeing any Chinese being sold into slavery, especially by the hands of by the so-called white man. We the Negroes, Latinos, and natives were sold into slavery. Alright? So it's an important thing to go back to find out your heritage, to find out your nationality. Alright? You have to know who you are. You have to know where you come from in order to know where you're going. Because the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai promised a kingdom unto a peculiar people. And if those peculiar people don't know who they are, they can never receive the treasures. Because why? They won't go faith. They won't go faith. Right? So henceforth they'll be minus in faith. Because the scripture talk about Abraham. Right? Having hope. And the thing about Abraham having hope is he worked towards it. If you people don't know where you come from, if you people don't go back into the past, alright, you will never look towards the promises that the Most High have given unto you. The Most High promised Abraham that he will multiply his seeds as the stars of heaven. And you know what he did? He went and he acted upon it. He didn't just say, well, yeah. And that's the important thing about also having an imagination. Alright. Next precept, Isaiah 46 verse 9. And it reads, remember the former things of old, for I am power, and there is none else. I am power, and there is none like me. You understand? You see it there again? The Most High telling you, remember the days are old. You understand? Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done. Say, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. You understand? So the Most High say, remember the old days, remember the things I used to do in the past. That is how you're going to know what coming in the future. That is how you're going to go forward. Because without the Most High counseling you to tell you what to do, you will fall into a ditch. That is why you have to go in the back. That is why you have to go back. You understand? It's very important. Sometimes you have to, as an individual, you have to look back at the former sins and the things that you used to do in the past. You understand? Look at your mistakes and say you're not going to do it again. Because if you look back at your mistakes, you're going to continue making the same mistake over and over again. And that is what you don't want to be doing, is making the same mistake over and over again, because you'll be considered a mad person. You're looking for a difference. Alright? And still doing the same thing over and over. You look back, analyze. Alright, I do this way, and this was the result. Let me try another way to see if I'm going to get a different result. You're looking for number 10, right? But you're adding 7 and 2. You're adding 5 and 4. You'll never get 10. You have to move different now. You have to add 5 and 7 with 3 in order to get 10. There are different ways to get 10. But you have to look back. You have to go into the past, and that is the importance. Alright, so when I actually heard these Christians and them use that term, we don't go back, we only go forward, then you'll never understand the Bible. You as a person, as an individual, you'll never understand the secrets of the Bible. Because the Bible is like a puzzle. Alright? But the thing is, the Bible wasn't originally written in English. Right? So it was translated from the Hebrew or the Greek and Latin. So you have to, in order to understand what the narrators were saying, you have to go back into the language they was originally speaking, or what the translator translated, in order for you to get a peculiar understanding. If you go back into the prologue of Sirach in the Apocrypha, right, which Apocrypha also means hidden, alright, they say, hey, forgive us for we come some short of some words, because the thing that was uttered into the Hebrew tongue don't have the same force in another language. So this is why now you have to go back into the Hebrew tongue. Hebrew, going back to the Hebrew word Iba or Iba, meaning past. The ancient days, the ancient language. This now we're going to have the force, because the original, alright, have the strength. That is why going back into the scriptures and all, hey, say, hey, your firstborn son is his strength. Hey, the Bible that I basically now pick up there, it say, hey, if it is old, it is truth. Right? If it is new, then it is a lie. You understand? If it ain't new, if it ain't old, then it ain't true. If it is new, right? If it is new, it ain't true. And if it's old, it ain't new. Something along that line. Alright? So you have to go back into the old things. The old things are very important. You understand? Hosea 6 verse 1 and 2. Right? Hosea chapter 6 1 and 2. Right? It says, come and let us return unto Yahweh. So you have to go back to the ancient days. For he had torn and he will heal us. He had smitten and he will bind us up. So when you see these kind of bruises and the one who gave you the kind of bruises, you have to go back, because only he could heal you. Right? After 2 days will he revive us. In the 3rd day he will raise us up and we shall live in his sight. Meaning what? We going and start to do the things that are pleasing unto him. So you just can't follow any and every doctrine. Right? Going with every wind and think the Most High going to heal you, because it has certain things the Most High love and there are certain things that he hates. So you thinking the gospel is just going on house to house and preaching the gospel. Hey, the scriptures speak against that. It say go out to the highways and the byways and bid them to the marriage. Hey, as me and a person was talking, you don't know if somebody, a man putting down and work on his wife in the morning. You don't know if they now come home from work in the morning. Right? And they're tired and you come wrong. Morning. That is why it has some people that say these people cannot come to the house. As Eleanor was saying, but you're cooking, you know. And they persistent with it. I can't study with you today. I'm doing something. I'm busy. The scriptures speak against that. You could be annoying people. But when you're out there on the highways and the byways and you're preaching, you understand? And somebody here, because the scriptures talk about in Micah chapter 6 verse 9, the man of understanding when I hear. When this person here and it start to make sense to them and the spirit start to descend upon them, that person now in that sense will invite you to their house. But other than that, it come like if the person ain't invite you to the house, it come like you just your bold face. Where is a thief or something? What happen? Alright? Deuteronomy 28 verse 45 to 46. Right here where it says, moreover all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he command thee. You understand? So it said these curses, where people just normally say, hey, black people curse. That is like a widespread thing, especially in the Caribbean. When sometimes a youth man get shoot down, or you hear two black people arguing, the first thing a next black person passing by black people curse, like black people curse, we're going down with black people. But some dummy will go and say, hey, the curse is a Ham. Yes, Ham was a dark skinned person, but all the sons of Noah was dark. Because if you go back into the Hebrew word Adam, or Adama means rich dark soil, or from soil. The soil dark, the soil brown. You understand? It's different shades of brown. You understand? So all these curses, go back into Deuteronomy 28, all these curses fit us like clothes. Like if it's with literal skin. Hear this, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder. And watch this. Right? Right? And for a sign and for a wonder. Right here what it say. When you look up the word for sign, right? It goes back to this Hebrew awath. They have here oth, but it is awath. It says probably from the Hebrew Strong's 225 in the sense of appearing a signal literally or figuratively as a flag, beacon, monument, omen, prodigy, are evidence. So these curses going and be upon you Negroes, Latinos and natives for evident token, right? Because I think they have here token, right? For evident token that you people are the children of God. That you people are the children of Israel. Right? From Judah coming all the way down to Ephraim. You people are the 12 tribes of Israel. So in order to, you have to go back. You have to go into the past. I'll keep on saying, you'll never know where you're going unless you know where you're coming from. You didn't born yesterday at the age of 25, 26, 27 and just go on at 28. You must have a starting point. Right? It must have a starting point. Okay? It says, right? And it shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Alright? Or for until. You understand? Until these things come upon thee. Right? This shall be a sign unto you people. Alright? But you know what we're wrong with we people? We don't like to read. We don't like to reason. We don't like to understand. We don't like to research. We just take where everything with somebody take us and fill our cup with that. And when we realize it, they're just filling our cup with poison. You understand? Don't let that person fill your cup with poison, because poison does kill. Right? Poison does kill. Just one more precept I want to bring here in Leviticus 26. Right, so I believe it's around verse 20, let's say 28 now. Babakasha Salak. Right, right, this is Leviticus 26 verse 40. If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass which they trespass against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me. How it is you confessing the iniquity of fathers? Because this is a key point. Alright, you have to go back into the past. Ask your fathers and they shall tell thee. Go back into the scriptures, see where the sins that your fathers commit. Which is, you have to go back to Genesis, to the book of Deuteronomy, to know what is the laws, because sin is the transgression of the law. Right? Sin also brings birth to iniquity, guilt. You understand? We are guilty of breaking all 613 commandments. Some people think it's just 10 commandments. No. There's 613 commandments, where each one of these commandments is basically a breakdown of each of the 10. And the 10 commandments is a breakdown of 2 simple commandments. Love the Most High, Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, thy power with all thy heart, and thy neighbor as thyself. Upon these 2 rest all the rest of the commandments. Because when you could execute these commandments, you're actually fulfilling these 2 main commandments. So you have to go back in order to confess the sins of your fathers. You understand? And that also I have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies. If then their uncircumcised hearts be humble, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity, how you accepting the punishment of your iniquity? You have to go back again. You understand? Then will I remember. So the Most High himself will go back. He will remember, right? My covenant with Jacob. Look how old. Look how many thousands of years we talking about. Roughly, I believe, around 4,000 years. This is about 4,000 years, I believe, he's speaking about here. Alright? Then will I, if I'm not mistaken, right? And just forgive me with the date if I'm not mistaken. You could always research certain things for yourself, right? Then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham. So you see, he going back, because Abraham is the father of Isaac, and Isaac is the father of Jacob. So you see, he going back. He went back to Jacob, then he went back to Isaac, and then he went back to Abraham, the initial person he make the promise with, which is Abraham. Initial mean the first or the starting point. You understand? Then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I remember the land. You understand? And the land was there before who? Abraham. You understand? So the Most High and all showing he does go back. The scriptures say in the book of Ecclesiastes, I believe 3:9, the Most High require the things that are past. You understand? The land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy her Sabbaths, while she lie desolate with them. And they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquity, because they despise my judgments, and because their soul abhorred my statutes. And yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them. For I am Yahweh their power, but I will for their sakes remember the covenant of their ancestors. You understand? The older heads, right? Whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt in the sight of the heathen, that I might be their God. I am Yahweh. These are the statutes and judgments and laws which the Lord made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses. So there's a very important thing to go back into history. Go back into ancient records. Romans 15 verse 4, one of my favorite precepts. The things that were written before time were written for our learning. But I guess we as a people, we just don't like to learn. We like to stick up in iniquity. You understand? You have to, if you go forward, I mean you're going forward for the best. But look back. Sometimes you have to look back. You understand? Like a person say, he trusts in Jesus so much that he don't have to look back. So you just don't use a review mirror, brother, and just go driving. You're going to end up in an accident. You understand? You know, and with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Harakwa Kodash. Double honors to all the elders, the apostles of great millstone that surely do well. Salutation to all the Akim that push this word in sincerity and in truth. This is Brother Lamar once again from GMS Trinidad. Right, saying Shalom. This is 2018, the year of prophecy. Right, Shalom Kalakiam.